Alright, hopefully this works. I'm like casting my screen here in remote. Looks like it's working. Okay. Decided today to make a video about the progress I've made on RS2D. I've worked like 300 hours or so since the last video, so there's a lot to cover, but the reason there hasn't been a video is because there's not that much to cover. So let me try to open this. Actually, I'm gonna put this full screen. Okay. Yep, this is Chrome Remote Desktop. It works pretty well. The only thing is I can't do control print screen, so I have to right click my ShareX to capture when I want to control print screen or region like this. Anyway, that's the only thing I don't like about it. But it does work for like the Windows shortcut. As you can see here, I was able to change like my keyboard. That's pretty cool. So I was just working on like so many things recently, but the biggest things that affects the game since the last time is the server has really evolved a lot, and I'm not sure if I was making changes, if it's even going to compile now. The client, I was just on it, but probably it's going to compile, so let's try it. I modified the server so much. Now, as you can see, there's a database. I'm logging some stuff about the database, synchronous operations, and then boom, and then here we go. I can log in now. This text, of course, it's complete trash. I put it like in the way, and let me put up the client. Right when I click login like this, bloop, it connects. Then, oh, why am I here? There's a problem with SFML and the mouse wheel, or maybe it's my mouse. But right now I'm scrolling like up, and it's not scrolling up, like very slowly. When I go down, though, it seems to work. So that's quite odd. But anyway, as you can see, like it says Bruno connected, and I've also like made it so if the server stops unexpectedly, you just log out. It's pretty nice, doesn't crash anymore. I have another account here called TR. You can just log in with that. There we go. Ah, okay, TR is over there. I was wondering because when I logged in, I was around here, yeah, but I thought I was over there, but it was the other account. So yeah, of course I could play on two accounts at the same time. It's just you can't debug twice in Visual Studio at the same time. Let's try to go in there. SRC client debug. Okay, yeah, and then if you want to launch locally, I can do app local. I also put the server on AWS, but it's not like that good. I could try to go on it right now and see. Okay, there we go. So yeah, I can like move over there. Yeah, well, you get the point. Online game. Um, I'm not displaying the walls anymore in game, so it's a bit weird because sometimes, of course, you would think there's a wall, but there's none. Like over here, there's probably a gap somewhere. Yeah, like right here. But I'm working on an editor tool, so I'll be able to fix that. So let's go instead to desktop. Let's go into RS2D map editor, and let's look at what the map editor is capable of. So far, pretty much capable of nothing, but you can get the point and where I'm trying to go with it. So let's open this. Loading chunks takes quite a bit of time because it's loading all of the map. Like all of the walls, it has to read a lot of little data points. And then yeah, when you're in here, you can like click. So I can like go to file door, zoom in, and then when I'm zoomed in enough, it's gonna display the walls. And then the goal is to be able to like right click a tile. Right now it moves when I right click the tile, but so I would right click the tile, it would pop up some stuff at the bottom, and it would look pretty much like let me minimize that. Actually, I'm gonna close that. Was that on the client? It's probably when I pressed X. No, that's not like an actual error. It's just because I clicked X on the application. And then the server, yeah, let's just stop it. Yeah. But there is a bug on the server, but I'm not sure what it is. But sometimes it crashes, but it's extremely rare. It's like maybe every like 10 times I log out, it does it, or no, it's when I log in even. So I'm not sure what the hell is happening, and I haven't tried to fix it right now because there's too much going on. But I want to make an editor like this. You're gonna right click a tile, and then you'll have options here that you can click to trigger different walls to toggle them. And then I would be able to add resources, NPCs, or whatever on a tile by searching here. And then here there would be the list of things that are already on the tile. The only thing I don't like with this is probably the wall options are going to be over here. And I'm going to click it. It's going to enable like a, kind of like in draw mode in Paint. And then I'm going to have a certain type of wall selected. And then I can like drag and create the walls. Because for filling the water, I'm gonna need that. Because right now there's no walls on the water, but I don't see myself right-clicking every tile to add the walls, so yeah. I'm not sure, like, this is just completely fucked, so let's try to stop it. Or is it because, okay, yeah, there we go, it's because of this. Yeah. So, yeah, I've made a lot of progress, but like not any like specific feature, just like overall there's so much stuff that has changed. Like the server now is up to speed, and my next goal right now is to just do small fixes right now on the client because I realized there was a kind of problem for clean code, so I was fixing that. And then is to work on the map editor so that I can just add a few NPCs, but I'm not sure exactly how much time that's going to take me. And actually, I don't want to add NPCs at first. I want to add resources in game. So if you remember the previous video, probably I had like trees in game, but it, they were on the client. That doesn't make sense. The trees have to be on the server, and the server tells the client where the trees are. So of course, some work to be done there. I just completely removed everything that has to do with the resources on the client. Like probably not everything, but like 90% of it. Resource game resource object. Does that file exist still? Oh, okay. I didn't delete everything. It doesn't matter though. See, I commented like all of this, but it doesn't matter if you delete it or not because it's on Git. So I could totally just delete this because I'm not gonna reuse most of this. But anyway, um, not much to say really about like anything. I just wanted to let you know that I'm still working on it, and I set up so much stuff that I think in the next maybe like 100 hours I can manage to um, finish the map editor in a way that it's usable. Right now I'm storing my stuff in here, editor data chunks. Earlier I clicked somewhere. Is there a date modified? Um, there's no file here. Okay, yeah, so I didn't, oh yeah, I didn't click the save button, that's why. Right now, if I right click on a tile and I click save in the editor, it's gonna save my work done to a file. And then what I'm gonna do is I can show you in here RS2D. Actually, it might be open in Visual Studio Code. Post edit. Uh, operate. Yeah, this is not done yet, but pretty much what I have is I have one script that generates the walls and the textures from the map. Use the RS map, and then what I'm gonna do is go into post edit this script, and I'm gonna run it, and it's gonna do. I think it's here. There's one file. Yep. That stores the name of each file that has been modified. So that's the goal. So using the editor, I'm going to save, I'm going to update my files, and I'm going to also store somewhere that this file has to be updated. And then when I run this script, it's going to go through all the files that I've modified and just apply the changes to the main data. But the problem is it's really complicated to decide how you want to set up the data. It's not just like put it in a list. So for example, here I have assets. I put my walls in files like these, and already you can see the problem. Most of these values are zeros. It's not that good because you have to read 4096 lines of zeros, like sometimes. For example, chunk 000, chunk 000 is in the top left of the map, and there's nothing there, it's just black. So there you actually just read entirely zeros. It's this map, or well, it's entirely blue, so there's no walls, but yeah. I really do need to make it so that blue is actually full walls, so that it blocks off the water. I should spend some time doing that eventually, but as I said, there's just so much to do. I'm not kidding when I say I spent over 200 hours easily just programming random stuff, and there's not really many features that have changed. It's just that right now, there's a database. The server is better and the client is better, but I've removed the resources from the client. So one could say, well, the game was better before, but like, well, before you couldn't, like, yeah, you could chop trees, but then when you logged out, you didn't have the logs anymore. Sign in, yeah, I guess. WWB7EX, okay. Let's see if I can go control my instance. Yep. And we're gonna boot up the client. Um, let's see if the instance has the same IP or if it changed. I think it didn't change. Oh wow, wait, it's actually running right now? Okay. Well, yeah, I can just connect. Let's see. Um, I'm in assets, that's why. SRC client app. Wait, debug app. Oop. Let's see. What would be my account? Maybe Bruno is an account on there. Let's see. Yep, okay, it is. Let's see if we can see it on here. Yeah, user Bruno connected. So this is the the instance I got on AWS, but it's pretty bad. Um, right now, surprisingly, it says it's only at 4% CPU. I don't know about that. Is it? It says I'm using 0% CPU. But look at the memory. SQL is using a lot, and then Visual Studio. I'm not sure what it says Visual Studio because I'm not debugging. I'm running the app, but maybe it still goes through Visual Studio somehow. Might have to do because I'm in a debug mode and not release executable. But anyway, there is a bug currently where maybe it's not gonna happen if I log out, but let's see. If I click here, I think I log out. Oh wow, that's amazing. So there it didn't do it. But let's see. I think the way the bug happens has to do with when I'm moving. If I'm moving, and I close the client like just like that. Yeah, exactly. Okay. What? It just kept going? Okay, well that's incredible. Did you see that? It said there was an error. Or maybe that was on my end. Am I just stupid? No, I don't think that was. Wait, let's try that. TR login. Okay, let's try to move. And if you're wondering like how smooth it is, I can just open another. Let's try to log in here. And like the server is, whoops, the server crashed or something here, right? Or no, well, it didn't say it crashed, but they both logged out, so I feel like it crashed. Okay, let's just put those, well, let's make them a bit smaller. This is like super big. Okay, I think the transform applied to the text is inversed or something. Like this text is huge. What the hell is going on? Let's try to log in. Okay, yeah, there we go. Now it failed, as you can see. So I'm not sure exactly what the problem is, right? But sometimes it just fails. But the machine it's running on is very bad. So it might have to do with that. Like I think I can see it. Like it makes sense that it's bad. It's not. I didn't pay that much for it, but I thought maybe I could get more for my money. But I had a set budget, not a set machine power. So I just took whatever was in my budget. Let's see. Pricing. Can I see light sail? It maybe solutions? Can I search? Yeah, search light sail. um, Maybe just this. Get started or pricing. Okay, there we go. Windows with well, this isn't the page I was on, but let's see if the prices match. Yeah, exactly. This is what I have. 20 USD. I thought it was 20 Canadian. Holy. Or maybe I'm paying 23 Canadian or something. But I don't think that even matches. USD to CAD. It should be yeah, so it would be like 25 Canadian. Anyway, maybe it's because the server's in Canada, so it costs less or something. But anyway, I'm using a machine similar to this, except it had already existing configurations for SQL Server, which is what I'm using for the database. And yeah, as you can see, two gigabyte RAM is like not a lot, like not a lot at all. And this 3 terabyte transfer, I didn't. That's not how I interpreted the 3 terabytes at first. I guess the transfer is like how much you're allowed to use the network per month, and then this is your well, your SSD. And then as you can see, there's one core. So if I actually want to run the server, it would cost me like at least $40 because this is just not gonna cut it. Um, I tried, running like four clients at once, and it was fine. It's just not a good idea, I think, because eventually it's not going to be able to keep up. Uh, because four people walking around is fine, but there's no resources, there is no monster, there's no actions, there's nothing, there's only movement right now. When I add like a combat, whatever the quest, and then there's gonna be like async callbacks happening for cutscenes, for teleporting players and shit. Like, I'm not gonna be fine with one core, that is for sure. And the problem is I can't really go here. This is just too expensive. I'm gonna have a full-time job in what, like one year? No, wait, I have my internship. No, yeah, it's in 8 months or so. I'm gonna start like full time. Well, like probably January 2022. I would definitely have money for this. Like, like what, paying 1,500 per year. That's nothing for a project you're passionate about. But in the end, I can't like monetize this because I'm copying RuneScape. And of course, if I actually get to a point where it's amazing, I will rebrand and turn it into my MMORPG and keep like so many elements from RuneScape just because it's an amazing game, but not keep like legit everything. Like I'm not gonna copy the quest, not gonna copy the monsters, not gonna copy the map, nothing. Just keep like how the gameplay is pretty much. You're definitely allowed to do that because, well, there's so many MMORPGs, they're all the same. You just have to, not literally copy one and you're good. So yeah, of course, like I'm not taking this project like super seriously. I'm not gonna work on it full time like ever, but I've been working on it like a lot over the past few weeks. I can show you my GitHub. Um, RS2D, 159 commits, and they have happened pretty recently. Like if I try to move down, well, as you can see, a bunch of commits. I also set up, as you can see, I set up CI. Here it says like my tests have passed, but that's 3 days ago. But if I go in map editor, for example, 2 days ago, yeah, I didn't push yesterday. I I programmed a lot, but I didn't push. And as you can see here, well, a bunch of contributions since, well, as you can see there, about April 5th I started working, or I don't think that was on that. Yeah, 8225 project, 8225 RS2D should be about here, right? Yeah, about here I started working on RS2D. Was that April 11th? Yeah, exactly. It's a Sunday. It makes more sense that I started on that day. Maybe even here. Yeah, Friday. Well, anyway, you get the point. I've been working on it for like 3 weeks. Pretty much every day. Well, actually, probably every day. I deleted some of my repos and I renamed one CPP, and I was gonna try to put like my stuff in it. Not I'm not like RS2D, of course. RS2D is its own repo, but I wanted to put my old repos that I had. Like I had one for an event emitter pattern, a JSON socket in C++, server client, and then when I went to copy the JSON socket client part, I realized that I made a huge mistake, and I never actually finished my work there. So I can show you actually what it looks like. Socket. This file right here used to be called JSON TCP socket. There's no reference to JSON anywhere here. There's this include here, but it makes no sense. It's not even like it doesn't belong here. As you can see, it's only like string, and it's not even finished. There's only like connect, disconnect, and send. That's not the only things a socket can do. But then if you look here, I made the socket public, and then if you go in here, I'm using like the socket. I do like a control F and B socket dot. Yeah, you see, I use socket dot socket. So instead of doing socket receive and then, well, like this entire thread, it should be in the class lower level. So this is just terrible. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna have to take this thread that accepts like the messages and put it into this class here and change everything. And so pretty much every time I go to do anything like any feature, I end up finding something like this somewhere in the project, and I'm like, well, I have to fix that before I do anything else, of course. So that's why like nothing is happening. Of course, a lot of things is happening every day. I'm fixing so many things and making a bit more progress towards actually adding features. But the thing is, I see this project going kind of longer term, and at first I didn't. But now that I've spent like well over 500 hours on it, I can definitely see myself spending another 500 because I see how easy it is to get captured doing this. It's fun, and I'm learning a lot. So I like it. I'm gonna spend more time on it. So I do want to spend the time to actually make it properly. Also because it's on GitHub, and soon, I'm gonna be a full-time software engineer. I can't have like, just temporary trash code on my GitHub. It doesn't make sense. Like, I do want my code to look good and for people to go like, hey, let's take this class and put it in our project. And that's kind of the goal for this repo here that I didn't actually what's the word for it, like put anything in so far, but I'm looking for a word but can't find it. But anyway, here in prog I have src C++, and then in here I identified a bunch of things that I wanted to put in here. And then, as I was saying, when I got here, TCP socket, I put the server, and then I went to put the client, and I realized it wasn't done. And yeah, that's where I left off. And then when I went to try to add the client, I went in here, and I saw that I wasn't using move semantics for the JSON. And I was actually deep copying something at some point, and then I thought, wow, that's fucking stupid. And now what I'm doing is I'm actually using move semantics, and it took me a while to set this up, but it works. So yeah, this way I'm not deep copying JSON anymore. Or well, no, actually, I wasn't deep copying JSON at first, but then I made a change and I was, because instead of passing JSON by reference, I wanted to pass a shared pointer to a const JSON. I could have passed a const JSON reference, but then whoever would have wanted to take it would have had to make a copy. And I didn't want that. I wanted them to just take the shared pointer and copy it. So yeah, now I'm passing the shared pointer. It's probably less efficient than it was before, actually, if anything. But now it's going to be less of a hassle if I want to copy a message, though I don't think that's a very good point. In the end, I might just scrap all of this and just pass the JSON reference after all, but it was still interesting to do, so I'm going to have to see. It's not much of a change to change it from taking a shared pointer to just taking a const reference. just changing a few arrows and dereferences here and there. Anyway, I did add also like a state pattern for the socket. Here I have like disconnected socket state. I have disconnect, and then I have disconnected state. And if we go in disconnected state, if you try to send and you're not connected, you're in the disconnected state, what it's going to do is it's going to connect and then it's going to send. Send no check is a bit weird, but it's because send actually uses the state. So I could have done this differently, but pretty much I had to find two different names here. I could have also just made a different signature, but that wouldn't really have made any sense. So yeah, I'm actually, one thing I'm not sure is, am I taking a const reference to a string here? Well, probably I am. No, yep, as you can see here, I'm taking a std string like this. That's bad. Let's change it to a const reference. Pretty much over the past few days, every time I see something like that in my project, I've been trying to change it, but yeah, there's a lot, so it doesn't really not really realistic to change all of them for now. But if when I'm developing new features, I try to do better, eventually it's gonna be fixed, you know. So let's just keep going. If I just fix a few every now and then, it's fine. I should try to rebuild just to make sure that works. Yeah, I mean, it should work. Anyway, I'm not even sure what I wanted to showcase this video. Just wanted to, let you know that the database is set up. I tried to set it up on the cloud so people can actually like play online. But there's a problem because the machine is too slow and the connection with SQL is too slow, I think. It's struggling and then it crashes when I think there's a reference being made to a value that gets deleted when you log out. And then when you go to query the database with that value or something because you queued it, because the database transactions, not transactions, but operations, they're async. Because in case there's in one tick, there's many database operations being made, you don't want to wait on that because I feel like what's going to happen when you play is that the database queries are going to go like that, like every tick. So if you try to wait here, that's going to kill your performance because most of these are writes. If they were read, of course you have to wait when you read, you know? But even then, sometimes it's non-blocking if you're on another thread, but most of my reads are actually blocking, but my writes, they're never blocking. Or, well, if you do write read and then the read is blocking, well, of course, if you write and then you read and the read is blocking, then it's as if the write was blocking too. There would be no performance difference. But anyway, I'm not sure why I'm going in so much detail, but pretty much I had to set it up so it's at least a bit async, and I may have messed up somewhere, and I'm thinking that somehow I'm referencing a pointer that's no longer valid because it got deleted after the user logged out, and that's why the server crashes. Otherwise, I'm not really sure what could be happening, but I haven't tried to diagnose the problem at all, so maybe I'm just completely bullshitting right now. Who knows? Maybe the problem is entirely different and it has nothing to do with the database. But from what I've seen, the connection to the database is extremely slow. So that's no good. Anyway, I can try to reboot it and you guys might see what the hell I'm talking about. Um, debug app. Yeah, here it's supposed to be connecting to the database and it just takes so long. It's incredible. Yep, that was like one query. That was like connect, and it took like 10 seconds, and then it's doing a query like to read the version table, or to okay, yeah, there it did create RS2D just in case it didn't exist. Um, and that took like what, another at least 10 seconds. Now I think it's trying to check if the version table is there, and it's taking like another 10 seconds. It doesn't make any sense that it's that long. So maybe for some reason my connection is not set up properly, but I don't know if that's really the case. what I'm thinking is the only option to actually host the server properly is for me to host it on my machine, but not my desktop. Probably just gonna host it on my laptop because I don't use my laptop. Right now I'm using it, but I'm only using it to remote on my desktop. So yeah. Um, anyway, is there anything else I should be talking about now? God, I don't understand how that can be so slow. Did it like time out? I don't understand. It's supposed to be printing stuff right now, but it's waiting because it's not done with the database. Um, this is extremely weird. Though maybe it's deadlocked. There is a chance that if you queue too fast, I'm not sure if this has the right version. So maybe it's deadlocked right now because I had a bug, but now the bug is fixed. So well, let's hope that doesn't happen when I pull. I could pull, but the thing is I had to change some stuff. Do I just go for it? I think I'm gonna go for it. CMD git pull. Can I? I didn't even like add or commit. I just want to erase the version. And actually, I think there I'm pulling from master. Yeah. Your configuration specifies to merge. No ref was fetched. What git branch? What? Git checkout master git pull. No abort. Yeah, let's just do git stash. Git checkout master. I'm not even sure if I have to pull again. Okay, yeah, I do. Behind by 11 commits. Yeah, there's a good chance that the bug fix was not there at that point. Okay, all those assets, that's cool. Let's go nowhere actually. Let's open this. And then you can imagine that with one core and 2 GB of RAM, when I try to build, it's quite a tedious process. So when I was trying to debug why it wasn't working on this computer, it was taking forever. And I ended up figuring out that it it was taking me forever to run every time. And the reason it was not working every time is because it was taking too long to connect to the database. So running in debug doesn't work. I cannot debug on this computer. I could if I added a timeout to connect to the database, but anyway, that's not really the point. Instead, I'm just going to build the app and run it and hope that it works. Uh, Set as startup and build. And then this process can take like up to 2 minutes, and it's using like 100% of the one core that it has for the entire 2 minutes. So yeah, this is just completely great. But yeah, I found my old Trello that I had and I copied it, but I'm not sure if I'm can I modify this? Wait, this is okay. Yeah, this is not correct. I think it's login/logout. I'm not sure yet. But yeah, I copied it, but sometimes like this thing right here, it's a list and it's pointing to the old sheet. So I'm not sure what the hell this is for because I thought it would point to the new sheet. But yeah, anyway, I could just delete this. I don't know if I'm going to use it, but I'm definitely going to consider it. I updated the README a lot over the past few days. And there's decent instructions to try to set up the client. And yeah, if someone wants to build the client and then try to log in, they could totally just do that. But there's nothing so far. But from the moment I add resources, technically, someone could start playing just because you gain experience. So at the moment when you start getting experience from like cutting trees, it becomes a game. And then you don't even need a bank at that point. Like, even if you just get the items and you drop them, which now I'm thinking like I'm gonna need to add probably a drop option if I don't add a bank. Otherwise, it's gonna be very infuriating to have your inventory full. Well, you know, I could totally see someone wanting to just connect, play, chop a tree, and be like, "That's cool," and log out. Just to build a client for fun. But yeah, server might be slow as hell or even down. Yeah. So I do recommend if someone wants to run this to take the time to run the server too, but it might take you like, well, it might just never work even if you try for like 5 hours if the SQL server is not collaborating. I had a lot of trouble myself, but if I had to redo it now, I could probably do it very fast. Anyway, I added some instructions and even like an example of a connection string so that someone might have more luck trying to connect with this. But yeah, anyway, I guess I'm gonna end it here. I'm just rambling. So yeah, as I said, the next goal is to set up the resources, but before I need to finish the editor so that the editor can generate the resources. And to finish the editor, I need to figure out which file format I'm going to use. And I also need to change the file format for the walls. And I also need to change the chunker script so that it generates the walls underwater. But that's not actually the chunker script, that's the waller. And I added a bunch of comments in my scripts because they were unreadable. But now they are super readable. They're actually super nice. So it's pretty cool. I enjoyed writing those comments, and I know that people say there's some people who say, you know, if you need comments, your code is not clear. Personally, I think that's bullshit. Most of the code you read is completely incomprehensible. Like, sure, the lines, each line is comprehensible, but trying to understand what a program is doing, you're never going to be able to. Like, sure, just by the name of the program, you can tell what it's doing, but you can't really tell how it's doing it. You can't tell what the structure of the object really looks like and what's being like done at a given point, and like when you click on a button, what does it do. And I think the only way to do that is through either a design document or a lot of comments. And you can be damn sure that I'm not writing an entire essay of a design document for no one to read it. So instead, I think just adding comments is good enough. And I'm thinking like nobody is actually gonna read like all of my comments or read all of my code, but someone might want to read like just part of my Python script, try to make the game by himself, just copy my Python scripts. I wouldn't even be mad. If someone wants to copy all of the Python scripts that I make, pretty much all of my C++ code, and keep going on their own, okay, I'm going to be a bit mad if they copy the entire thing. But if they change it a bit and just use like the data and kind of like the structure that I use, but they do it in like Java or whatever, they just try to do something else, I think that's fine. um it's not like I have any authority to tell them not to anyway, because I'm literally copying RuneScape, so I lose all my credibility there. But I'm not doing it for commercial purposes, so I think it's fine. Though I do think there might be some problems if I decide to host a free to play game online that's a copy of RuneScape. They might be like, hey, you're not allowed to host a game like that online just for free just because it's not commercial. That would be a bit stupid. It's like it's the same argument with the music sharing back in the early 2000s slash maybe 90s. That you're not allowed to just share music for free. It's the same with games. You cannot copy a game and share it for free. So there's like this thing where it's like not commercial, but it also has to be like personal use or just like open source project, not actually available to play on the web. But I don't know. I don't think Jagex would actually go after me legally or anything, or even just notice me. So don't think there's any problems there. But yeah, not gonna be an idiot and push my luck with actually like trying to release the game and like advertise it. I'm just doing this project for fun and to display my well, actually to train myself, to see if I can do it and to display my abilities. So yeah. Anyway, I don't know how long I talked for. Let's see it. God, 40 minutes. Yeah, pretty much to be expected though. I do talk a lot when I record these videos. I think that's gonna be it for me now. Thanks for watching.